Hey y'all, this is my user guide on how to use this stock market slash mini investment bank I made. I'm going to first cover how to use the machine as an investor, then as a corporation aspiring to raise funds for your Minecraft stocks. Then I'll finish off with an in-depth breakdown of the mechanics of the machine, plus a tutorial, so you can make whatever modifications to the machine you want for your Minecraft servers. And if it all goes well, there should be timestamps on the screen now. You're welcome. So starting off with the investor portion, you would first want to click for priority right here. Afterwards, you select which investor you are. So I'm going to say I'm investor 1, but one thing to note is investor 8 is always dedicated to the company register or the company stock. Alright, afterwards I want to choose my company. Right now it's on CS1, that's the corporate ticker I made, and I put it on company 2. Let's say I preset this one, and let's say it's concrete, right? And you'll see it updates to CS2, and these corporate tickers are fully customizable as well if you're a company. So afterwards it should show, yeah, 122 stock available, 00. And to update the stock value, because sometimes it doesn't go through, you just click this again. And it will probably take a while because I'm using a binary divider. So let's just make sure it's going through. Yeah, the stock value takes the longest, but the roundup function kicked in, so it should show stock value of 2. Great. Now, to update the total required, I would have to update the amount of stock I want to buy. So let's say I want to buy $6 worth of stock, or 6 diamonds. Like 6 divided by 2 is 3, so I'd want to buy 3 stock. So I have this hexadecimal selector here. This is the 16th place, and this is the 1st place. So let me put in 3. Should update the total required to 6. And if you want to know how to do in hex, think about like every place here as 16. So if I go 1, it's like adding 16 to the 3 here, so it will be 19 stock to buy. Yep, there we go. Alright, but I don't want to buy that much stock for this presentation, so just go put it back to 0 and reset that. Now that total required number is the amount of diamonds you would need to put in here to purchase the stock, or flick this lever off and press this button, the amount that you would get from selling that stock if you had any of that stock owned. So I'll demonstrate that after I purchase it. So 6 diamonds here. See them going through the wire stream. And my stock owned should be updated right here. And I should say other things that affect the stock value is as people put more funds in here, or the corporation puts more funds into their account, the stock value will go up. And as the corporation takes funds out of their account or take funds out of the stock, the stock price will go down. But with the diamonds and the stock available, it doesn't actually fluctuate too much. But like, you know, with diamonds, with how valuable the currency is in Minecraft terms, it's actually, any fluctuation is quite significant. So as you see, the stock available got updated, as well as my stock owned. And if you see if I'm on a different investor on this company, you'll see the stock owned is different. On investor 8, the company stock, you should see 133. Yep, that's correct. Alright, let me go back to investor 1 and I'll show you how to sell it. So you first flick down this lever and press confirm subtract. And when this is all updated, you would flick this off when you're done. And now I should get 6 diamonds here. Yep, that's 6. Alright, well, that's my demonstration. Oh yeah, I already flicked this off. So on to setting up the company. To add the company, you would first click for priority right here. Afterwards, you would select whichever company is available for you to be assigned to. In this case, let's just do company 1. Afterwards, you are able to customize your corporate ticker up here in these lecterns. So to figure out which one is yours, it would be whichever ones are not being locked by your peers, so these guys. Right? And you can change these to whatever you want. So let's make that C and E. It should show whenever your corporate ticker comes up as ESI or E51, whatever you want to interpret it as. Let's change that back for now. And actually, let me add the way for you guys to get up here. And if you want a 0 or an O, you would just get rid of the lectern there in the place that you would want it. Alright, afterwards you got your company all set up on paper. You want to add 1 diamond to it by making sure that it's on the default add to fund. Should update right here. And this also doubles up as a bank if you just want to use it for your own purposes. So in the stock market, since there's only 8 registers available, I won't allow that. So afterwards, you would want to come over to the buying stock area. Yep. And click for priority there. And if you have any questions about buying stock, you can look in the previous section. I'll have a timestamp back up. And so make sure your company is selected. And yeah, make sure you're on register 8 or investor number 8. Afterwards, every company has 255 maximum stock available. If you want, you can ask me to decrease this or increase this later. And so I would recommend securing at least half your stock, so if you get a bunch of volume in trades, a bunch of buys and sells, at least half your stock is saved. And so I would put in buy 133 stock, because that will make sure you have at least, I think, 52% of your income saved. Alright, so let me select, in hexadecimal, 133 is 885, right? So I just go here, 5 here. And the total required should update. How much is that in diamonds? Just count that in stacks. So. Alright, I would just say 5 extra after that. Alright. So now total required is 133. And I'll just chuck it in here to purchase it. And I'll have a time lapse of everything counting. It's gonna take a while. It's gonna take until all these torches are off. Alright, it's done counting. And it should now update. Is it? Or did I miscount one? I miscounted one. Alright. Alright, one more diamond. And the stock should be purchased. Yep. Now I got 133. Now you got 133 in your stock owned. You can just change your investor just to be sure. And afterwards, you can come here back to your company and click this to update your value. Alright, 150. What? Yeah, I'm sure it's fine. Well, yeah, and that's how you set up your company. Now you can add funds as you want, or subtract it by clicking this and selecting the amount that you want to subtract. Confirm to do it. So in this case, I want to subtract 32 diamonds from my account. We'll update to see what the account is going to end up looking like. Press confirm. And I should get 32 diamonds out of that. And don't worry about it saying like 86 here. Right now it's reading that it's subtracting 32 when it isn't. So I'll just put it back to default once I get my diamonds. Alright, got my 32 diamonds, put it back. And you'll see the true amount that you own. Which is 118. And now I can just put in as many diamonds as I want and it will add back to the fund. And so this is how you can store your profits, and the higher this value here, the higher your stock price will be, or your stock value. Additionally, as people purchase stock, as you can see there, your stock, your your corporate profits right here, or profit supply, will increase. So say everyone decides to buy a bunch of your stock, your number will go up here, as well as the price over there. So that's it. Alright, now for everyone's favorite part, the tutorial. So, starting with the corporate profits area. I'm not going to do a block by block tutorial, by the way. I'm just going to explain how everything works so you know where to improve or not. So, for this one, when you're adding funds into the barrel, it will count every single time that this dispenser goes off, and that counter will go into this binary counter right here. And when it's finished, it will write it to this register right here, which is 16-bit. I just stacked two 8-bit registers on top of each other and made the addresses the same, so I could just use two counters the same way. And after this is done, this area right here sends a signal backwards after the write that loads this counter, which in this area is 0, making it so that it resets to 0 again, and it's not adding it again and again and again in here. And the way that's added is it goes into this CCA right here, and I just did the same thing where I combined two CCAs that were like 8 bits or 1 byte and stacked them on top of each other, connecting the SYN to the little output right here. And the reason why I did that is because whenever you want to toggle it to subtract, it will trigger the 2's constant here by turning the SYN on, as well as creating a, well, whatever the torches are, they're NOT gates or inverters, probably the better word, and it will make it so it subtracts it basically with, of course, this higher value here. But let's turn that back. And the reason why this is here is to lock it. So as it's counting, this pulse extender stays on and prevents changes from happening. Right? And yeah, these are hooked up to red coders. So this is a mount selector. For this one, for speed sake, I manually encoded it, so it's a bit of a mess. So they'll give the various different pulses up to like 64 different individual pulses, so it'll shoot out 64 diamonds. It actually shoots out 63 because there's some bug that I can't be bothered to figure out, so I just made a feature, so if you subtract 64, you get a -1 diamond transaction fee. That's something for you to fix if you want, though I think the fee is good if you want to make profits. So I guess that's pretty much it. After everything's done, it loads back in here and the read output goes through, and it doesn't completely show through until everything's done. And I guess the other thing to cover here is this binary to decimal converter. It's a really good design, by the way. I'll try to put the link of the person who made it up on screen right now, as well as the link to the better version that I used here. Okay, and now moving on to stock price. This is the next thing you should build. So first you would make this manually encoded stock number for each thing. So this is how you would change it. So if someone's like, yeah, I don't actually want 250 stock, 5 stock, I want something less, you can just find their area and remove the torch from it in the areas in binary. That will decrease your stock, but yeah, it's default 255. If you don't want to go through the hassle of this, you can just also have a torch on everything here and not have this here. It's completely optional. As well as this thing. This is something I was building for the dividends, but I never got around to that on this version of the device. So it goes into this binary divider by, hold on, let me find their name. By Kitari and Magic. And everything else I just copied from MatBatWings. Is LRR tutorial series. Alright. And that brings us to these registers here. So unfortunately, like, each register here has to be additional players, so if you want to expand it, what I'd recommend doing is, since there's a red coder here set for 8, just make a second mode for another layer of registers on top of it. So what I would do is probably, I'm going to do a loose example, so this is not block for block, so I would like clone this, put it on top, and have a mode switching in between, and the book can say like, oh, this is either investor 1 or investor 9, depending on the mode, or it's either investor 2 or investor 10, if that makes sense. Right, and these are, this yellow one is the read line that goes into the stock owned, and the lime one is the write line. So everything here is, after it's encoded, it's the one that's chosen is unlocked for an input to go in for it to confirm the write in. So if I press this button, since it's on investor 1, it'll write in whatever is in there. So that's the way you can do maintenance on it as well. And so I got 2 extra CCAs here. This is for like whenever the number of stock is in here, it's added to whatever is written down. All the registers right through, but only the one that's selected will actually read through to here. And yeah, the stock going will be here, and it will add to whatever stock you want to buy. And these are an inverse connection over here because this is the total stock available. So as you buy stock, so you add 3, you subtract 3 from the total available, and the total available is this register right here, and that's for everyone. Yeah. So just 2 CCAs here with that option. Okay. What else do I need to go over? Alright, I think, let me explain the stock price a bit more. So after these guys are divided, so the read output line from like the total funds you have in here, as you know, as you add funds from there, because the you will see this little orange wire here, that's adding to or subtracting from the main CCA here that goes into the company profits register. So yeah, it connects, and whatever value shows up is divided by the total stock number available, or just the total stock number in general, and that will give you a estimate of what each stock is worth. And what I have here is another CCA here as a kind of roundup function. So I made it so if there's any remainders here, it will just round it up and just add it to the total value. So if there's like a 2 here and a 1, this output will be 3. Or I should say, if there's a 2 here and a remainder, the remainder will, a bunch of remainders, it will just round it up to 3. Yeah. Okay, what else am I not covering? Oh yeah, the multiplier right here. This is how you figure out how much you need to pay or how much you'll get from buying or selling, and what affects that CCA I was talking about earlier. So yeah, I'll put up on screen who made this binary divider as well as their video, and I'll have all the schematics for each of these things in the description, as well as this whole build here, as well as the world download. Alright, and yeah, so it just, yeah, it's a binary multiplier, and it takes the 2 values, the stock value as well as the stock number that you've inputted, and puts a bit in. And this right here is a spam protection thing. So as you're selecting the value, it doesn't go in immediately. So you can flip to a bunch of pages, and then after a while, it will send one pulse through that will tell this machine to calculate it. So that's the area for improvement there. And the way I've counted like how much you're gonna get individually, as well as how much you would get if you sell, is by doing these 2 additional binary counters here with like a extra feature. That, yeah, there's just take the outputs that are inverted and invert them again, and that will make it so it counts down for and it's the same binary counter as before here. It's just I have 2 inversions on it. Yeah, this one is for counting down the amount of diamonds you'll get. After it's done, it will send a signal that will tell it to shoot the diamonds that are stored in here out back. And as you purchase stock, this binary counter counts the amount that you need, and once it hits 0, no diamonds will be able to be extracted into here, and also your buy will be confirmed. Yeah, so that's about it. I'd recommend getting the mod Axiom as well as Light Magicka for this.